seen a portal?
It's probably confusing and a bit cryptic to people when they experience it the first time, but that's part of the nature of the film. There's a lot of information and there's a lot to digest. People had so many questions and there was such a bigger universe beyond what was in the theatrical cut, and now we have a 4K restoration of both versions of the film, and there's a lot of audience members who were either too young or they don't remember when the movie came out, or God forbid they weren't alive when the movie came out. Again, my recommendation is start with the theatrical cut, and if you want more, if you're curious, if you have questions, then you can move on to the director's cut.
You give yourself to him. You give yourself to him.
Wake up, Donnie.
It's a very personal film and there's a lot of me in it. But in terms of the reference points for my first film, it was beyond my adolescence. It was my love of blockbuster cinema, James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, these big filmmakers who I grew up with discovering, and then filmmakers like David Lynch, who really changed my life and transformed my point of view as a young teenager when I discovered Twin Peaks.
What happened?
I don't know. Sheriff Truman just brought her in from Glastonbury Grove.
I think there can be more than one version of a film, and I think we're now leaning into an era of long-form storytelling where film and television are really cross-pollinating in a way we've never seen before. And you know, we digest narrative differently now than we did 20, even 10 years ago. It's
28 days.
Imaginary.
6 hours. 42 minutes. 12 seconds. Do you believe in time travel?
as you get older, you hope you get more efficient with your storytelling. And I've been focused on writing for a long time, and my writing has gotten a lot more efficient and a lot more focused. And I'm very excited by that as I phase back into directing, hopefully very soon. And so if you can nail your writing, you can do anything. That's my opinion. As a filmmaker, like, I know that I can direct. I'm a visual person. I started off as a painter and an illustrator. I know where to put the camera. I'll never forget that. I know exactly how to handle all the visual stuff. I think what I've been working on is getting my writing elevated to a level of 100%, if not as far as close to 100% as I can get efficiency, you know. So that feels really good. It feels good to know that I don't stare at that computer screen and just feel anxiety of not knowing what to type. I always know exactly what I want to type.
As you can see, the lifeline is divided into two polar extremes, fear and love. Fear is in the negative energy spectrum, and love is in the positive energy spectrum.
The rights to the movie keep changing hands from corporate catalog purchases and acquisitions, and I am just trying to protect the intellectual property from anything happening to it, like what happened with that sequel that I have never seen and will never ever see. But a lot of these films are really personal. You know, they're not, people throw around this word called, you know, this phrase IP, like intellectual property, and they just refer to movies as IP, you know. Oh, that's a really hot IP. We're looking to do something with that IP. And it's like, well, that's also someone's heart and soul, and they bled and they sweat. Blood, sweat, and tears went into that intellectual property that you seem so entitled to reboot or do what you will with. But there are people with feelings and emotions attached to that IP, and so I'm just out here to protect it, and whatever happens with it, if something does, I'll do my best to make sure it's worthy and it has a reason to exist. And if it doesn't have a reason, then it shouldn't exist, and we'll leave it at that. I'm just happy to continue talking to people and monitoring the existence of this film and protect my IP.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.